we're on the ZR 40mm f2 at f2. We're using the MED10 microphone. This is an all-digital microphone. It does have the dead cat on it. I've got it focused forward. Now, there's a bit of a breeze blowing, and I'm really looking forward to hearing how this sounds when I get back to the edit suite. But I'd like to think at full arm's length, and probably even at something like 2 or 3 meters, we're still going to have excellent sound. Of course, it's 32-bit. I've got that turned on. This is the 7 features about the ZR that none of us knew. MCN10 grip running the ZR. Yes, it's absolutely possible. Pretty much every button can be programmed. I think I've tried about 90% of them. What I love is that you can adjust aperture, recording, run the menus, and even with the function buttons, I've been able to program them to be zoom buttons, part of the high-res zoom. I do not have a power zoom to test whether it's possible to power zoom from f1 and f2, but I do think it's possible. Anyway, hidden secret feature, you can have this awesome little camera that not only is an amazing webcam, a cine cam, it can also be a camera operator's cam, and then, of course, it can be a vlogger cam and a selfie cam. The ZR just has so many possibilities that are opened up even wider with the MCN10 remote from Nikon. Number 2, vertical shooting. Not only do you have vertical controls and a vertical interface, but the vision comes into your editor with vertical metadata. So there is no rotating required. How cool is that? And of course, 5.4K. Product mode, a super useful feature that is being rolled out to Z52, Z52, and now it's in the ZR. This is a customizable box or the whole screen, which recognizes you're putting something in front of your face, and it makes sure it pulls focus on that product rather than your face. Alrighty, well, here we are down at the foreshore, and we are shooting on the ZR with, interestingly, the 24-70 f4. And as we can see at f4, we still get some separation. I love this lens. It's another great combo with the ZR because it's small and light, compact, but still gives you beautiful optical outcome. Of course, it is an S-class lens. Again, I'm continuing to test the MED10 digital microphone that gives us 32-bit float audio straight into the camera. It's about an arm's length, probably around almost a meter, 3 feet from the camera. I'm talking directly into it. How's it going to sound? Now, this is 32-bit. There's a lot of ambient sound. I've got it set to front facing. It is a direct digital connection, so it should be very, very clean, except for the ambient noise, the ocean behind me, and the cars going past on the road just probably 5 meters or around 15 feet. It could be a little bit further than that. But this is thing you might not know about the ZR number 4 is that, yes, it has a digital hot shoe, which allows for all sorts of interesting things to be able to be added to this camera via this hot shoe interface. One of them, for example, is this digital microphone. We are expecting other digital microphones to come from companies like Rode and Holyland, for example, which already make digital interfaces that plug into their wireless microphones that go straight into the Sony cameras. Expecting the same thing to arrive here for the ZR and the Nikon proprietary digital interface. Along with already on the market is the Tascam audio interface, which allows for XLR, again bringing 32-bit in if you choose to select it in the menu. And we do have a tally light, which is a large tally light that sits on top, even larger than the one that's on the camera. This works with, I believe, the Blackmagic desks, allowing you to actually do camera switching. So depending on which camera is actually switched on, the tally light will come on above the camera. The ZR is absolutely fantastic for studio usage as well. This whole ecosystem's being built out. So there is 3 things that currently exist, 4 or 5 that I'm pretty confident are in the works, and of course the one that I think will be most wanted and most loved by the majority of users, and the number of questions that I'm getting about the ZR as a stills camera says to me that a lot of people would love some form of EVF. Now, for those that don't know, they might think Nikon's never done a digital hot shoe before, but that's completely not true. They actually did it not that long ago in the V series of camera, and the V3 has a digital interface which allowed you to attach and detach an external EVF. So we're talking less than a decade ago. Nikon already did this. They had the technology, they know what they're doing, and it could even be a tilting EVF as well. These are just some of the things, and I can think of so many other things that could come into the digital hot shoe, like, for example, time code could come in via that way, and all sorts of things have the potential to be broken out via yet another piece of I/O, because of course this is an input and output port. For example, not only is the port right now sending the audio to the camera, but the camera is sending power to the microphone to illuminate the record light, which is on the microphone, which is fantastic. I have absolutely no question that I am recording right now. I can see this red light on the microphone very, very clearly. Obviously it's on the screen, but I don't want to look at the screen. I can see it in my peripheral vision. So there's no question I can see that. Power is going from the camera to the mic to run the powered mic. I presume it's a powered mic along with that light. From my perspective, has a huge amount of potential. Like, it's just, what can they do with this hot shoe? What sort of things might be useful to people? I don't know the speed of the hot shoe, like how fast, how much I/O can go through it. And it may not be fast enough for things like hard drives. I just simply don't know. That's another option. And of course, people have talked about the idea of having a handle that goes into the hot shoe, as we do have handles that go into them, but it's actually a digital handle, and then you can have another digital hot shoe on the top of the handle. And then the handle can do all sorts of things, like have a record button on it, have breakout sound on it, and whatever. It might have a zoom rocker on it, and so on. So much potential.
Pixel shift, yes indeed. You may not realise it, but the ZR is still a very competent stills camera, and it does include pixel shift shooting, which gives you up to 96 megapixel images, along with, depending on how many images you take, you also get reductions in noise and improvements in colour clarity. When you're in high-res zoom mode on the ZR, a digital zoom controller appears on the screen, as we can see here on the left. You gently move it with your finger, either very gradually or quickly, and you can get incremental speeds of zooms. This is a completely cool feature. It works completely in software with the touch controller on the screen. I love it. Breathing compensation for lenses. This is not something that we have seen on a Nikon Z camera before. We have seen it on other brands, and what it does is it adjusts in video using digital algorithms, sort of like the high-res zoom, to compensate for breathing within a lens. Now, not many Nikon lenses breathe, so I suspect this is also going to be applicable to third-party lenses. But wait, there's more. Bonus content number 1, the MLL7 Bluetooth remote control gives you the ability to record and to zoom. It probably works with high-res zoom, certainly works with power zoom lenses. This is another great feature for content creators because you can control your camera at a distance. Yes, my ZR shipped with firmware 1.01. This happens sometimes, but yeah, that's interesting. What does it mean? I have no idea. And powering on, the ZR is a powerhouse. We can see here with 4 back-to-back turning on and off, it always stays below 1 second. If we give it a couple of seconds breather, as I do here, we suddenly get back to 3/4 of a second. This is, well, it's pretty insane when you consider you can shoot R3D codec with this camera, and it is by far the fastest in the family. And it is very fast when considering other cine and hybrid cine cameras. And before I say goodbye on this episode, I just wanted to pause here for a second to tease coming up in an episode soon using the MCN10 grip on the small rig cage. I've had an enormous amount of fun setting this up, and this is an amazing rig for so many different types of shooting. I look forward to showing you more with the MCN10, the small rig cage, and so much more. All right. As usual, everybody, I'd love to know what you think about these, what was it, 10 perhaps in the end, things you may not have known about the ZR. Please let me know in the comments below. How are you enjoying your ZR? And as always, it's been so good to see you, and if this is your first time here, I'd love to see you again, so please do subscribe, please share, and please like. All right, bye for now.